This is your daily market review for Tuesday, April 15th, 2025. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at ADBE Realty, aka the Trading Agents, your daily market review for Tuesday, April 15th, 2025. Happy tax day. I guess that's kind of ironic. There is no happy tax day. But anyway, going into the rest of the week, we know Friday's closed. The Stock Traders Almanac has said the last 3 days should be bullish, expecting a little more up tomorrow. We know we got some economic data tomorrow. You got some earnings coming up. It's going to be, again, I feel like what they're doing, and they typically try to do this during OPEX, CHOPEX as I call it. They like to burn out the VIX, crush implied volatilities, kill options, and make options traders eat dirt, potentially. Especially if you had a prevailing, say, move that needs a little bit of counteraction or potential. If it's already bottomed, you might chop around the bottom, or if it was a top, same kind of thing. If you notice, the markets the last couple days seem to be holding up. Even though the news in itself really hasn't gotten better, there's been rumors. Yeah, that's about it. So just be careful. Again, let's talk about the market. Get excited, grab a coffee, let's get comfortable. Let me know I can help. If you're new to the channel, check out the Discord room, link description below. If you'd like to chat, hit me up on Calendly. Took a quick minute to chat with a friend today about some option stuff. Always love helping out, especially if the questions are just not very obvious sometimes. The market is, again, the gatekeepers to the real information. They don't want to share it. I tell these people all the time, like, you want good information, good luck, right? Most people don't want to share what they're doing. I have no problem sharing anything because, again, I think it's pretty obvious. Again, I'm not trying to promise crazy results. It's do what the market's doing, and it's a probability-based game. There's no certainty. So like, follow, hit the subscribe button on YouTube and Twitter, posting trades on Twitter. Also, if you'd like to donate to the channel because you appreciate all the love, support. Sorry, I appreciate all the love, support, donations, but if you appreciate all the information, the plays, the ideas, the management of the markets, and understanding how this all works, you can donate, hit the promote button, or link description below. Also, check out tradingagent.com. Lots of information here. Take a minute, float through it. Let me know I can help. So we know the fear and greed index was at 3 last week, which seems like a year ago, right? Market has little memory. We're trading around here in the 19 level, still in extreme fear. So worth noting, right? We know the CME watch tool. I don't think there's going to be a I'm pretty sure there's not going to be any sort of rate cut potential coming up in May 7th. Doesn't seem like it. Nothing that I'm seeing. So again, keep that in your watch list. Bitcoin, again, I think it's like a broken record. I just have no desire to touch it. A lot of people think get frustrated by that, but I don't know if we're really going anywhere. Technically, pretty easy to trade and watch. I mean, it seems like it's in a consolidation pattern. We've seen this before. When it does, you just leave it alone. I don't know what's going to cause the catalyst to get it out of these ranges. But at this point, again, I hate to beat a dead horse, but got a lot of questions about it. Leave it alone, in my opinion. I'd look at it in around the 72 area, and if I'm really bullish, like really want to see, you need to get over the 92,000 area, 93. At that point, we're just dead cat bouncing. Oil, we talked about it bottoming when the VIX exploded. Now, near term, again, I call consolidating. I mean, do you typically get a run into May? We'll see if we get it. Right? Last year you didn't really get much, or 2023 you didn't really get much of anything. You had a bottom. Let's see, May of last year. No, not much. Usually you typically get the seasonality demand. We'll see what happens here. Again, there's so many things going on. This is the thing you have to trust is your stops first and your risk management. None of us know, and I really mean this deeply. None of us know for sure what's going to happen. I do know when the VIX hits 60 and fear and greed index hits 3, you're typically going to have what I would call a bounce. And we got the bounce. Can it go higher? We'll see. Again, natural gas pulling back. Again, a lot of people are bearish on the oil and gas sector that kind of post and leave comments, and I don't really have a problem with that, but I just don't think, again, the oil service names, I price that in my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised. Again, I've said I'd like to see natural gas lower, but how much lower? I don't know. The lower the stuff goes, the more it increases demand. Just remember that. So keep an eye on it. All right, let's get into the market names. Dollar, as we've talked about, not really too concerned about it down here. We know the volatility matters. We've been all over the place. Not really sure about it. Again, I'm just watching for volatility. I'm not trading the dollar. TLT, we talked about it double bottoming. Huge volume. seems to be basing nicely. Again, holding 85,000. Sorry, 85. Rates look like they're going lower. VIX, we talked about this. VIX blowing out to the 60s. Talked about it coming back down into this upper bound here, 20-day. Keep an eye on it. I mean, I've seen this before, and we've seen this where the VIX just absolutely collapses. So keep an eye on it. I mean, I'm not really sitting here thinking too hard about it because, again, I think it's in the best interest of all countries to figure this out at some point. Trump's trying to bring everyone to the table. We'll see what happens here. VIVX got smashed yesterday. Little pullback today. Again, not surprised. SPY was up, down, chopping around, closed more or less near the lows. But again, look at Monday and Tuesday's action. Gap up, nothing. Gap down today, nothing. Or flat. I mean, this is the options maker's wet dream. A day where you have volatility and the market can move 50, 60 handles to a day where the market moves 5 handles. That's how you kill options premium. QQQQQ holding up pretty well. And it looks like the NVDA deal, investing $500 billion in the United States to build chips. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of this stuff going on. Keep an eye on it. Yeah, another just dead day, holiday week. I think, maybe we get ripping next week. I don't know. You don't know. Do we fail here at the 20 day? Is it all over? I don't know. Only you know. And this is where if you have longs, you raise your profits. You raise your stops. Hopefully you took some off. Now you're just watching. IWM seems to be chopping around. I saw a lot of people buying puts in this, but I'm like, man, it's holding up pretty damn well. Again, I like the IWM better long term because it's been consolidating for 5 years. So keep an eye on it. DIA seems to be pretty good. Chopping them in. Come on, Dan, zoom out or zoom in. Seems to be pretty good. And meaning like it just looks all the other one like it's just nothing. Holding up. High and tight. Remember, high and tight isn't necessarily bearish. Just like think about it. Like if you can't sell off the highs and you hold up there, it means someone's typically holding up. Keep an eye on it. Gold. Talked about the seasonality of the second quarter. Feels like it topped. But I'm not saying short it here. I'm just saying be on lookout because you get a nice up move. You get a little flat dropping around. You rip back up in a straight line on high volume. That to me usually is the top. Like if this chart was flipped upside down, I'm absolutely buying it. Hand over fist. Being the top, again, I'm not going to go ahead and short it. I know some people are talking about shorting it. It makes sense here. I mean, you could do it. Risk reward makes sense. Again, you're not really confirming it with silver. So it kind of gives me confirmation that maybe the gold move was kind of a gold move only. Miners, that's where it gets a little tricky. They're holding up today. Doji on light volume. Again, I had these light volume days during holiday weeks. A little tricky. Again, we'll see if the second quarter phenomena kicks in at some point. Again, I'm not saying short these names, but I would just be on red alert for taking profits. AEM, as we talked about, is the boss of this sector. New highs looking good. AG not going much of anywhere. Man, that one's a tough one. Newmont, we talked about this one. Once it got over 48, it could pop up to these 50s level. This big red bar is the biggest problem with it. This bar has memory. I'm not talking about like a bar, like drinks bar, but I'm talking about like high volume and the high. Notice where it rejected. You need to get over these 55, 56 levels. Pass. Just chopping around, but holding up pretty well. Looks better than AG. You got to give credit where credit's due. Let's get into tech. Taiwan Semi. Chopping around. Not much. AMD, again, like a lot of these names got earnings coming up, so be careful. Someone's been blasted. Sorry, Micron, not AMD. Micron is earning. They'll probably be in May, maybe even June. There were earnings right there. So yeah, probably in June. These things have been destroyed. I mean, we talked about semis being the sector you don't want to own for 2025. You've consolidated. You've made new lows. I mean, would it make sense to back test the breakout? I don't know. I mean, you could play these long all you want. I think there's just better names out there. AMD, same kind of thing. NVIDIA today holding up. Again, we talked about this is the short of 2025. You shorted up here. I was like, I'm 99% sure this candle was the top. It ended up being the top. You got like look at that. Just boom, 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 boom. Yeah, as of right now, you're in between areas, like meaning you're in the mid zone. I would take shorts probably in the 120s, but at this point, I don't really have I wouldn't be surprised if it chops around. SMCI, don't know much about this one, meaning like I don't trust it. Intellectual property, we talked about there's a trading range here if you'd like to trade it. I don't think there's much of a premium. If it gets bought out, it's more of like a charity thing to appease the United States. AVGO, announces a big buyback, breaks the channel lows, comes back to the 200-day, needs to get over that 200-day. SMH, another, I mean, we talked about how, again, chips have been lagging. Yeah, I mean, I would keep an eye on it. Not to say that we can't go higher, but these names have, I don't know, for as much hype as they should have been higher, they weren't. Like, that's the thing that makes them hard to, like, people understand. Like, everyone thinks AI and chips were leading. They were actually not leading. Adobe, chopping around. I mean, it kind of makes sense here for a trade here. I like it, but again, with tight stops. Apple, this one's interesting, right? Pops up on their tariff exemptions. Now it's chopping around high and tight. I mean, I'd be watching this 200 area. It's interesting. Imagine how many options they're killing by pinning that to 200. Amazon, this one's not getting the exemption, so it's kind of chopping around. Keep an eye on it. 20-day, it needs to get over that 20-day. Meta, we like it here. I mean, I liked it at 530. I didn't put any trades on it today. Keep an eye on this one, right? It feels like the bottom's in for a trade, maybe going into earnings, but let's see what happens here. If you see that 509, because again, if you bought it at like 530, you stopped out today, I'd be watching that 510 area next. CRM, I mean, we could retest the lows. You never know. It's been a monster. Chopping around, not much. Guggenheim seems to be just, I mean, looks a little better holding over the 20-day, but just is what it is. Keep an eye on it. Microsoft holding up pretty well, in my opinion, but needs to get over that 50-day. Again, there's a lot of these names that look pretty good. NDAQ, dead cat bouncing. Again, I think this exchange will have no future, meaning people just aren't going to be trading tech. I'm telling you, that's just not how it works. When the cycle changes, and not that AI or tech is going away, but there's a tech war. Who wins it? In my opinion, it's inputs. It's not semiconductors, and it's not software, or not the hardware names. So just keep an eye on it. MicroStrategy, this one's been kind of flagging around here. We'll see what happens. Needs to get over the 100. It needs Bitcoin to get up over 92,000. Netflix had saying they're a $1 trillion company. Projecting goals. Notice where it got stuck today. Keep an eye on it. Roblox has been bouncing pretty nicely off of the 200-day. Keep an eye on it. Nice work. Coop in the Discord room was talking about this one, getting over to the 400 level, looking pretty good. Nice trade. I followed this one with Pan W. I like, again, I mean, not that I don't like this trade. Again, I just know Pan W better, and was watching. Again, I've said this. I like cybersecurity names. I think they make sense. Pan W, nice bounce. I think it probably could bounce back up to this 180 pretty quick. Get closed over the 20-day. Barely. Keep an eye on it. See if we can get some follow through on Wednesday. We'll see. All right. Do you have any questions, thoughts, concerns? Just kidding. Just keep an eye on this one, because I'm looking at this one. Yeah, I'm trying to think of, again, I was trying to see the 10-minute after hours, see if there's anything cooking on these names. When the market was pulling back a little bit on the futures. Yeah, I like these names, man. They look like they're due to bounce. Tesla, again, I'm watching this one too. It seems to be consolidating. It has earnings on Tuesday, so please, ten cuidado, be careful. But if it can get over the 20-day and it's starting to curl up, I mean, this thing, I mean, a lot of people are saying it's getting to 315. If it gets to 315 pretty quick, I could see that happening too. We'll see. Again, I've been wrong on this, meaning like thinking that it was gonna rip back into 300 level, but you've based. So we've been trading around the TSL. It looks good. Keep an eye on it. Again, I'm not personally going nuts. I'm trading around it. But I know as we get closer to earnings, I'm not going to want to be involved in it, because I don't want to get caught. Whatever happens with earnings, I don't know. If you want to take a stab at it, great. Palantir, this one's been holding up really well. A lot of people like this one. Not going to sit here and say do anything other than just keep an eye on it. It looks good. Insight, I like this one. Talked about this one getting bought out at some point. Mid-50 seems to be holding. Good old hims and hers. Everybody loves the stock. Seems to be stuck here around the 200-day. Keep an eye on it. Baba, this is more of a reprieve name that made sense. Right, 200-day, bouncing, chopping around. McDonald's trying to break out again. We'll see, keep an eye on it. Starbucks, we wanted to short this in the 118 level. Pull back hard. I don't really have much on this. I mean, again, this is in between areas. I mean, I guess you could go long if you really like the long term on it. I just don't really trust it near term. We'll see. Airbnb, a lot of these names look very similar. Oversold, now chopping around. Coin, oversold, chopping around. 20 days key. DKNG, I mean, I don't think sports gambling is going to do so hot in this kind of environment. Chopping around. Costco, nice bounce back, but it seems to be getting stuck at the 50-day. Talked about like a head and shoulders formation at some point forming. It feels like This could be the right shoulder. We'll see. Who knows? FedEx. I like FedEx. Seems to be chopping around here. Not really much, again, until earnings potentially. Just keep an eye on it. XLF. Some of these names have been acting pretty well. Holding up, right? 200 days key. Again, if banks are holding up, you got to be, it's hard to be bearish, right? Hood. We talked about the bounce from the 200 day. These ones are tough near term because I could see them moving all over the place and consolidating. JPM, same thing, hitting the 20 day. Everyone's like, Jamie Dimon sold. And it's like, man, he sold $31 million of stock yesterday. Do y'all remember what today is? Maybe he had some taxes to pay. Maybe he had some expenses. I don't know. It doesn't seem that big of a trade. He sold hundreds of millions before at different times. And then the market corrected. But that was in like February. I think it was February last year. I stand corrected. I don't know. I could be wrong. Keep an eye on it. Morgan Stanley bounced back after earnings. And then capitulation. Again, these names. I don't know. Bank of America bounced on its earnings. I look at these and I could say, you can make a case that we've bottomed, right? High volume. You could also make a case of short here at certain references. But here's the thing, like, what do you think is going to happen? That's the question. Like, if you are bearish, then hold your convictions and you have your levels. And if you're bullish, raise your stops and just watch the market. Watch these trades. Because they to me, they're a little, they're not as obvious. And they're probability basing, it's 50-50, right? Like Goldman Sachs, same thing. A lot of these stocks testing the highs from last Wednesday. What do you do, right? You could short them there if that's your reference. But are we guaranteed to fail? I don't know. I mean, it's earnings. I mean, I think UAL after hours was doing pretty well, actually. Bank of America. I mean, the earnings reactions seem to be pretty good. Carry, chopping around. I mean, are they kitchen sinking the quarter? That's what I'd be asking folks. Like, just be aware of. Because if the kitchen sink the quarter and everything worse is behind it, CEOs are pretty good about that. The market might reward that. Keep an eye on XBI. Again, we talked about this one being oversold. Looking like it's going to bounce, right? Jets, chopping around. This one doesn't really look as good. Housing, chopping around at the lows. Again, housing I know is going to be tough. I'm on the front line. See it every day. Dow, some of these commodity names pulling back, chopping around. Perfect. I mean, again, I would love to see them V bottom, but they typically don't. CE holding around here. Caterpillar. Yeah, same kind of thing. Last Wednesday's high, getting stuck at. DE. Looking better than most names. Hits the 50-day, backs off. Nucor, again, I like steel names. Keep an eye on them. X, we think will get bought out. Actually, we know it's going to get bought out. Let's just see what happens with it. IIIN seems to be holding up well. Some of these names made higher highs off the lows. VALE, another one that gave you a gift below the 8s or the mid 8s. Okay, near term, a little overbought maybe. Arrow, same kind of thing. I like these names. FQVLF, we talked about the 10 level holding. Looks all right. Just feels like some backfilling consolidation days. Doji today on SCO. Freeport McMoran, sorry. Same kind of thing. Apologize, I'm hitting the buttons too fast. Trying to speed up Freeport, chopping around. I mean, look at all the volume on this. They look like they bottomed. URNJ, again, we like junior uranium. Hits the 20-day, backs off. Okay, light volume. Cool. Let it play out. CCJ, held at 36s, bounced up to the 20-day. Again, do you see what I'm saying? Like, these had nice little bounces. Now they need to consolidate. CF, again, we talked about the mid-60s was a gift. Mosaic, same thing. When it hit channel high and backed off, I was like, holy shit. Now you bounce, hitting the 200-day. Again, if you get over that 28 down bar or that down channel, look out, because I think it could rip. SQM, like this one, bought this down in the low 30s. Keep an eye on this one. I mean, if you look at the stock, it was at 100 and something not too long ago. Again, I think Chile will do a deal with the United States. Even if they, I mean, again, that's not really the whole purpose of it. Again, I like ag names. This name looks pretty interesting to me when you look at different charts as well. If you have any questions, again, do not hesitate to reach out. We like the ag names. NTR, same kind of thing, holding up pretty well from the 40s. AA has earnings tomorrow afternoon. Keep an eye on this one, right? Looks, I mean, dude, you can't get much lower this one, in my opinion. Now, again, you could always go to zero, obviously, but this thing has been throttled. Kalu, again, we like the aluminum. You got to love aluminum. I feel like they can consolidate, capitulated. MP bounced, gave it back today, like sneaky as hell. And again, with OPEX, keep an eye on this. Last but not least, in the material, like this material section, the cliff. Again, I like it down here. A lot of these names, you buy them, you set a stop, you walk away. We talk in a couple weeks, see what's up. TAN, that's how I feel about those names. Even TAN got a bounce. I mean, I think they got some exemptions in the solar stuff for tariffs. Chopping around. ENPH, same kind of thing. Chopping around. First Solar to me makes sense here. Keep an eye on it. Somebody liked this last week. We'll see if they come back soon. HYG, something, we talked about corporate debt being oversold. Keep it simple, stupid. Oil, not surprised, a little chop around today. Not much. UNG, again, I hate this product. I really do, because it's decaying, right? So be careful with it. Again, I like the KOLD short. I'm trying to see if we get up into this 28-30 area. That's what I'd be watching. XOP, we liked it at the 100 level. Now it's chopping around. Can't really say too much about it. Just keep an eye on it. If you bought Gush down here, set your stop. Keep it simple. Gasoline names, as we talk about, they typically bottom first. Chopping around. Valero, same kind of thing. Chopping around. ExxonMobil, this one thing was ripping like it was going to break out 2 weeks ago. Comes right back. Chopping around. I mean, this is a reoccurring theme. Like if you bought near the lows, keep an eye on it. BP, this thing was at 35 not too long ago. Comes back down to the 25, 26. Keep an eye on it. Occidental, I mean, I'm waiting for the 13Fs to come out in a couple weeks. Pretty sure Buffett's buying the shit ton of it down here. Devon Energy, keep an eye on this one. I mean, again, capitulation action. I mean, you can define the risk. APA, Apache, same kind of thing. They all look very similar. Lyondell base, right? Chopping around, capitulation action. CVE, I mean, I would thought this 13 was a good price on this. You got the 11s. Chopping around. EQT, this one's been holding up pretty well if you zoom out. It looks like just a big-ass consolidation pattern. Looks pretty strong, honestly. So keep an eye on it. Again, a lot of these names look pretty solid in my opinion. You just got to be patient. And last but not least, Flex LNG. Talked about buying this on the channel low at 2019 area plus. Again, I think we're natural gas exporters. I think that's going to be part of the deal, that whatever we do with Europe, it's going to include some sort of sending of natural gas to those guys. So again, if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out. It's a short week. Friday have off. It's a holiday. Lighter week. Seems like a consolidation backfill. You got start of really bigger earnings next week. So will the market float its way up? Again, near term, we're pretty headline driven, but also seem to be like digesting it, because again, when the fear and greed index spikes, I mean, the market in itself is anticipating worst case scenarios. Now, again, could it all get worse? Abso-freaking-lutely. No one's saying they got this figured out, but I would say near term, you're at this point, an inflection point where I feel like again, the market's meant to take the most amount of money from most people. The best way to do that would trap people and chop around. Certain names will lead, some names will go down, some names will just kind of play the game. And personally, this is where we need to keep an eye on this stuff. Again, if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Always here to help. I appreciate all the love, support, donations. You guys have a wonderful evening. Ping me if you need me. Peace. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.